Alive.
The mistake,
Yeah.
what mistake has Pakistan done?
That mistake
Okay.
will not be making ever again.
Thank you so much for realizing.
Kasoor, as we say.
Yeah.
Kasoor.
But Kasoor and all these kind of words that you're using, it kind of refers to the other side of the border, right? With the upheavals that is happening in Pakistan cricket. I mean,
I have no idea what you're talking about.
consider this. A premier batter
Yeah.
who has put Pakistan on the map for years.
Okay.
2 years he has a lean patch. Suddenly you drop him. Let's not go by what the wording is. Oh, rested. We hope the rest doesn't go. Nah, he's been dropped. Clear cut. Babar Azam is the main topic of discussion that we have got today in the dugout.
Okay.
It is an unprecedented situation because two things.
Yeah.
One, is this the most bizarre act that has ever been conducted in the history of cricket? Bizarre selection, dropping Babar Azam.
And that's the topic for our dugout today.
Okay, number one.
Yeah.
Can India ever dream of dropping somebody who's had an equally bad lean patch? Because we are as star-spangled, we are as starstruck as it is in history.
We can straight away draw the comparison. Na? Virat Kohli is considered
course.
to be, for them, their Virat Kohli is Babar Azam. I'm not nowhere comparing both of them. What I'm trying
Just
to say.
putting things into perspective.
Yeah, for them, the how much high weightage we give to a Virat Kohli, that's the equal amount of weightage they give to Babar Azam.
Exactly.
So would you drop a Virat Kohli after 1 year of a lean patch? Again, lean patch also, both of them have different lean patches. A lean patch for Virat and a lean patch for Babar is way different because Virat in his so-called lean patch also was averaging 50.
No, he was
little less than 50.
We are going to stick to red ball cricket.
Yeah, red
okay?
ball in test cricket. For
Just 1 year, he averaged 55.9. And Shivam, I've got those graphics in that other thing. You can check that out. I've done the comparison as to what's. Yeah, okay. In that graphic, I have mentioned in the T20I setup, okay, what has been in the T-Test setup, okay. Let's look at it. Babar Azam's lean patch versus Virat Kohli's lean patch, okay. 67, 34, 69. 2022 was the last best year of Babar Azam. 161 he hit versus New Zealand. After that, 22.6, 18.5. But look at Virat Kohli. 19.3, 28.2, 26.5. The comparison between Virat Kohli and Babar Azam has had to come now because of what Babar Zaman tweeted. Okay. Babar Zaman tweeted that, okay, India did not drop Virat Kohli when that lean patch was there.
Yeah.
Why has Pakistan cricket made this decision to drop Babar Azam, that too a premier batter in Babar Azam from 2023-2024? Agreed. Numbers were not in his favour. But when Pakistan cricket is at its lowest, why drop him?
I just want to ask you one question before we get to the discussion or the heated argument if we want to have it. Are we really comparing Babar Azam with Virat Kohli?
No. We are putting things into perspective. Those are
That
the
was
words
your
you gave me.
that was your way of saying things. I'm just going to ask. No, I did not know his perspective.
Yeah,
Nah,
okay.
I'm asking him.
Okay.
Are we
Lean patch-
really comparing him?
Lean patch versus lean patch? It seems to be yes.
My
lean
only
patch.
point is it a fair comparison knowing what a certain Indian international has achieved for his country across the last 10-15 years or so, and for someone like Babar Azam from Pakistan, who is a good sports person, who is a good batter, pretty decent captain also in the recent past, but then is it really a fair comparison?
Okay.
That is my point.
Agreed. Okay. Let's make one thing very clear here, that from 2013 to 2019,
Yeah.
across formats when you looked at it,
You only had one best in the world.
no one came close to Virat Kohli.
Yeah.
Okay. There was never a talk. The Fab Four thing was good for marketing. But if you honestly looked at it across all formats, it was Virat Kohli, then there was the Fab Three. Okay. Let's be very honest. Steve Smith could have been a great test player. He was a better test player than Virat. Okay. Kane Williamson kind of lived up to it. But now it is Joe Root who's the best amongst the Fab Four. It's all been switching.
Yeah.
Lean patch, when you look at it, Virat's was chronicled the most.
So I wasn't sure over here. We are taking Virat's 2020, 2021 and 2022 versus Babar's
23,
23 and
24.
24.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Because the lean patch happened
Yeah,
for 3 years for Virat at the start.
That's
Now
what
it is
just
for Babar.
clarifying.
Okay.
Yeah.
Fab 4 has been very fluid in that sense.
Yeah.
Now it's Joe Root who's on top. Virat is the laggard by his high standards.
Yeah.
Okay. That's why when you look at lean patch versus lean patch now, the comparison is apt. Okay. Virat had a brief resurgence in 2023 when he scored that 200s versus Australia and the West Indies. But we all know the conditions which it came from. Babar's lean patch is very perplexing for one simple reason. He can't perform on roads. That is the worst
National
thing.
highways.
What you're trying to say here is that Virat was looking to get runs at some point. You had that confidence. He just gave you more assurance as compared to Babar Azam.
Yep.
That's
Yep.
right.
Absolutely. Now look, Virat faced tougher conditions. It was in India where you decided, okay, let us have only rank turners from day one. Okay. So his home average never improved in that period. It coincided with a slump there also. Now, despite that, India did not drop Virat for 3 years because his corpus of numbers was so great from 2013 to 19. Arey nahi yaar, we are okay with 3 to 4 years of Virat failing.
In a nutshell, past reputation.
Past reputation.
But I think what also played a factor there was that the other batters were stepping up and the team was also winning.
Yeah, except for
That
ICC.
Good
hasn't
point,
gone-
Malla.
that
Good
hasn't
point.
gone- Arey,
Yeah.
Except
that
for-
hasn't gone for
Yeah, except for
in favor of
ICC
Babar.
events. You are not winning anything even on Virat's lean patch. You aren't winning any ICC event also.
Yeah.
But in Babar's case, it's been exemplified by two things. One, because this is the one main angle we are focusing on. Will India ever have the audacity to drop somebody who's had a 2 to 3 year lean patch?
Okay.
In the case of Virat Kohli,
Depending upon the player again.
depending upon Rohit Sharma, depending upon Virat Kohli,
Just
Virat
these two
Kohli
names.
never got dropped.
That's why I'm trying to say this discussion only holds up only in that situation when we are equating both of them on the same. If you're keeping it to as per perspective, Babar Azam, why it's such a big shocker in the first place is because he was being looked at as the next big thing, and not just in Pakistan. I think across the globe also there were talks about, maybe Babar could be that, it could be Fab 5 instead of Fab 4. So there were many reasons suggesting that Babar Azam could be that next big thing in world cricket. He could take Pakistan cricket ahead. So I think that's the bigger issue. Somebody not scoring for as long as this period, anyone would be dropped, and I don't think there would have been any questions of that. If an Abdullah Shafiq in Pakistan would have been dropped with this average after such a long time, there would have been no questions. Same case for India. Somebody like a KL Rahul, for that matter, even Shubman Gill at this point, if they have such a lean period for this long, maybe even they would be dropped. If two people in Indian cricket who could not have been dropped and who should not be dropped in that case are Virat and Rohit. So if we are keeping Babar Azam on that scale in Pakistan, for Pakistan cricket, that's why I think this is a bigger issue in that sense.
Basically, what Shashwat here is saying that it's very difficult to drop figures who are very larger than life.
Yeah.
As far as, both
short.
India, Pakistan, or maybe, world cricket is concerned. In case of maybe Australia, South Africa, and England, we have seen that, bigger players get dropped because that's where you don't have to really bring your emotion in between and have to make those practical choices so that it's basically for the betterment of your team or for the national setup. But if we have to go back to the question of whether Babar Azam's non-selection is the most bizarre move that Pakistan cricket have made, I am not going to agree with this because according to me, I think he had to be dropped. And I'm going to be very honest here about it. See, my only logical explanation to this is, there can be many reasons. You are going to put forward a perspective, so are you. But my point here is, your team hasn't won a single test at home in the last 3.5 years now. All the 11 players are going to be responsible for it. The management is going to be responsible for it. One of the good points that Shashwat also put forward in the dugout that we had the day before yesterday, that you need to improve things at the very grassroots level, maybe at a very niche level. That's where,
Cultural change in general.
cultural change basically, yeah, the change in structure. That's something that's going to happen. But if I have to come back to the stats, sometimes do not lie. That is where, you have not won a stat in you not won a match at home in the last 3.5 years in test cricket. All 11 players are going to be responsible, management is going to be responsible, but then who should be the one who should face the boot, or who should be the one to face the axe always? In Pakistan cricket, we have always established this thing that a captain suffers the axe, so does the coach. Management has had 26 different members since August 2021. I think it was high time that that when your senior players who should have performed irrespective of the conditions, we cannot really always, bring these kind of things into discussion that, just because, there are those national highways or the flat decks, the teams are still winning. Australia won, England won, New Zealand, drew against them. Bangladesh, for that matter, they clean swept Pakistan 2-0. So definitely, it's more about the skill. It's more about the senior players stepping up. And if you see from the teams who have come to Pakistan in the last 3 years and have won, it is about the senior players who have stepped up, who have won you those crucial moments, and thereby you have gone on to win the series. In case of Pakistan, there weren't any notable contributions from Babar Azam in the last couple of years, except the 180 odd, if I'm not wrong, he got against 160 odd he got against New Zealand. That was a drawn series. You look at Shaheen Afridi, he's never the same bowler that he once was, ever since he had that knee injury that plagued him during the 2022 T20 World Cup. Couldn't really, do much in the final also that Pakistan could have probably won. In case of Naseem Shah also that we were discussing earlier, not the same bowler that he was before that shoulder injury, hampered his fitness before the ODI World Cup, in the Asia Cup for that matter. So senior players, I think they had to face the axe here, because it is on you only to make sure that your team wins, gets to those important wins, so that you not just improve yourself in the World Test Championship cycle, but also your cricket improves. Mind you, cricket is back in Pakistan after a long time. Teams like Australia, England have really, made that step to go there and play those important matches of the World Test Championship, or even ODI or T20I series. So that's where I feel that as senior players, if you don't step up across any team, you should have been dropped. And in case of Babar, Shaheen and Naseem, quote unquote, if they have been rested, that's a different perspective altogether. But according to me, I think PCB have made the right move by dropping all three of them.
Gulati sir, what I want to know from you is that you said that cricket has returned in Pakistan after a long time and all of these things. Babar Azam is not winning a test match. That's the problem. That's the reason you're dropping Babar Azam.
Yeah.
Not scoring runs is not the reason. But I think Babar
He
Azam,
hasn't scored runs also.
Yeah, definitely. But Babar Azam, I think, is the crowd puller as far as cricket is concerned in Pakistan. However much we talk about this here, there have been lots of divides about Virat also since many years when he was having that lean patch. There was a topic of discussion. Fans were divided, definitely. That's the same case in Pakistan for Babar Azam also. At this point also, many people, like in India, showed trust in Virat Kohli, are showing trust in Babar Azam as well at this point. So he is definitely that big figure you need in the team in that sense. Also, I feel the intention behind dropping him out is not what you are talking about. Maybe, yes, he is not stepping up, you need to give opportunities to the youngsters. But again, I cannot say this with certainty that you would not be seeing a Babar Azam coming back in this team again very, very soon. The reason at this point is, I think it's just that they know that there's fire all around. The only way to settle that fire down is by dropping a Babar Azam. You had two options for scapegoats. It was either Shan Masood or it was Babar Azam.
Or it was Jason Gillespie for that matter.
JC again, these are very small. Jason Gillespie wouldn't have calmed down the fire in that sense, because again, a small name in terms of Pakistan cricket. This time the fire is so big that a big name only had to go. The biggest name here was Babar Azam. So at this point, because things aren't going his way, he doesn't have the people who back him in that sense, the people who support him are not in the power. Now this new selection panel also, Aleem Dar, if I'm not wrong, mentioned this fact also that Babar Azam needs to work on his game. Now all of these things, now because there is somebody else in power, he's trying to get their own players. Till the time Babar was doing this thing, it was wrong then also. So even now for me that is wrong. Babar Azam, you just one person you have dropped, yeah, Shaheen and Naseem have also been dropped. But again, these are big names. You needed now suddenly the picture looks like that Pakistan is going in a new direction altogether of cricket. This might calm down all the people who shout from the other on the other end that this changes need to be made. You need freshness in the Indian team. All of that will calm down right now. All the people in power will be secure in that sense. There would be no acts on them. But again, it's not going to help in any way.
I mean, again, you cited all the examples, right? Pakistan, they are not contributing, they have not won at home.
Yeah.
They have a Babar Azam scored runs. 3.5 years, right? But for 1.5 years, he was scoring runs. Babar Azam from 21, 22.
I said last couple of years, yeah.
So it's 50-50. 1.5 years he's contributed runs, 1.5 years he's not contributed.
But Siddharth, that's where consistency was missing against Australia, England, and New Zealand for that matter.
Okay. Babar has been forced to have a target. Now, all the selectors, all the power guys will go after Babar Azam. Okay. You see what is going on in the backdrop of Babar Azam's axing from the Pakistan team. PCB chairman of selectors and PCB head has changed 2 times over when Babar Azam was there. Okay. Uncertainty at the top. And this is the same uncertainty with which Babar Azam was saying that, boss, there is so much uncertainty at the top, we don't know what direction we are going in. Number 1. Number 2. 26, right? That is the number of times your new selection panel has been considered. And Sarfaraz Ahmed, what was he doing there? He is the mentor of the team, right? But he's in the selection panel.
One of the teams in the Champions Cup.
Yeah. What was he doing there? Groupism, culture. These are the things that has been there in Pakistan cricket ever since creation.
Yeah.
By removing Babar Azam, you are trying to give a mask that you're going in the new direction.
Exactly.
Okay. It has got nothing to do with Babar Azam not scoring runs. It has got nothing to do with Pakistan not winning. Pakistan is reaping what it had sowed. Preparing placid decks. Do you think placid decks are Pakistan's new phenomenon? It's been there since time immemorial. Pakistan producing roads is nothing new. They have been masters of creating roads. It was only masked by some skillful bowling in the 80s and the 90s. Reverse swing. Where has that gone? Tali do haath se bachti hai na. What has happened is you have ensured that the failing facets, all of them are trying to get removed, but now you are left with no hand to bajofy the tali. What has happened? Can you name anybody in that list, if you remove Babar Azam from that batting lineup, who are world renowned? Can you name anybody in that?
Mohammad Rizwan.
No.
He is
World
Axes on him
renowned
also.
in Test cricket.
Axes on him also.
This is where you have to clear it out. Now, as far as ODIs,
Because we are talking
T20s
about
go,
Test cricket. We are talking about Test
he
cricket.
was also their former number 1 T20 batter. Not Pakistan, but across the world.
Test
globe.
cricket. Okay. Is an Abdullah Shafiq part of a Fab 5? Is a Saud Shakil part of a Fab 5?
No one, hands down, no one is there. No one.
So why did the Pakistan Cricket Board do this foolishness? It is like Virat Kohli, amongst all under 19 or maybe 23 or some people with only 1 or 2 years of experience, Virat Kohli is part of that squad. You suddenly decide to drop him. For what reason? We don't know, na? Lack of runs, lack of wins, that was happening. Lack of runs was happening with Virat.
Yeah.
The only thing was wins were coming, but not at crucial intervals.
Yeah.
Under Virat, captaincy, when you look at it, he won in Australia, okay? He drew in England, didn't win in South Africa, never won an ICC event. If you look at the same yardstick, Babar Azam never won an ICC event, but the only thing going against him now for the last 1.5 years is no runs.
No, but who has runs in this whole batting lineup? Saud Shakil has had runs, yeah, definitely.
Abdullah Shafiq.
Shan Masood
Abdullah
to an
Shafiq
extent.
just got these runs, this 100. Without this 100, the axe was on
Shan
Abdullah
Masood
Shafiq.
has had some runs.
Shan Masood has had just 150.
At least something.
Aga Salman.
Aga Salman also in this series. Shan Masood,
Mohammad Rizwan got a 170 odd against Bangladesh.
Yeah. But Mohammad Rizwan was again, he was recently dropped when you got Sarfaraz back into the side. You dropped him and you got him back. The axe was on him also equally, because the person fighting for that position was ahead of him in that sense, not just in terms of runs, but in terms of captaincy also.
In a way.
So Babar Azam, it's just the biggest, again, the point that I made that day also, the problem with Pakistan cricket is insecurities. At this point, if I am the selector and everyone is after me, what will you do to calm everyone down? Remove the person who is the biggest name, just to show what Sidvi sir rightly said, that it's just a mask to show that Pakistan cricket is going in a different direction.
And you're talking about Pakistan cricket wanting to go in a new direction? When has Pakistan evolved? Please tell me that. If Pakistan has evolved, that day the world will be a great place to live.
There were signs of evolving ahead of the 2021 T20 World Cup. There were some notable performances at that time.
But they have gone right back to square one.
After the next year's T20
Exactly.
World Cup, 2022.
Now, the problem that I have, why is this entire Babar-Virat debate coming up now at this stage? Because it's a clash of two ideologies when you look at it.
Yeah.
Okay. An unstable PCB versus a stable BCCI. One has gone on past reputations. India has always gone on past reputations.
Exactly.
A Lakshman, if he had a lean patch, he would not be dropped much. A Sehwag, if he had a lean patch, it became too much in 2013. Okay. When Sehwag had to be dropped. Then when you look at it, it is a huge issue at this stage, Virat not being dropped. Rohit was dropped. He didn't have a good 2013-14. He was dropped from the test match team.
Yeah.
Never came back after 3 to 4 years.
But that was till that time he wasn't the Rohit Sharma.
Sachin Tendulkar never got dropped. Except for injuries.
And you got him, Rohit Sharma, back also on the basis of reputation only. You did not see too much of red ball cricket so as to get him back into the side.
Sure. But again, has India ever taken
And that should happen, definitely. It's not wrong.
When was the last time an Indian team made a radical decision to drop a big guy?
2008 CB series, just before the CB series, you dropped your seniors.
But no,
That was a radical
2012,
decision at least.
2012 you're talking about.
No, 2012 can also be an example, but 2008 was also an example.
But again,
you dropped
they got them back.
policy.
In the case of Babar, the future remains uncertain.
Dravid did make a comeback to the ODI team, but Ganguly never did.
Ganguly already retired. 2008, he was done. He was not part of the CB series and in Australia.
And
But
Babar
that,
Azam, you think it's
he
uncertain
wasn't
his
retired
future
at
from
that time, nah.
Yeah, but see, Ganguly, when you look at it, it all started from the Chappell era. Let's be very honest about it. That was Chappell versus Ganguly, which soured both relations and ensured it was an internal tussle.
Yeah.
I'm talking about on pure skill and pure merit.
So 2012 definitely radical changes. Murli Vijay, Shikhar Dhawan,
Okay.
Bhuvneshwar Kumar.
Okay.
But
Yeah.
they want radical decisions as compared to this.
Dropping Virender Sehwag, Gautam
When he was
Gambhir.
at the fag end of his
You're
game.
talking about Murli Vijay. I'm talking about Murli Vijay.
No, Murli Vijay being brought into place of Virender Sehwag. Na? That is basically the Australia series that you're talking about, na?
Yeah.
Vishy,
Yep, that is the series
Yeah.
I'm talking about. 2012, 2013.
you had Virender Sehwag play the first test. You lost the Australia lost there, but he did not do well.
2 tests.
That's when Murli Vijay came. Dhawan also made his debut. That was also a series
13.
when Bhuvneshwar Kumar also played. And then you also had Ravindra Jadeja, who added to his multiple test caps after making his debut against England.
Okay, so that was a decade ago.
Yeah.
But now this is a stable BCCI we are talking about. Okay, they give players a long run. Most established players get a long run.
True.
In Pakistan, even Mohammad Yusuf did not, when he had a lean patch, they dropped him. Yunus Khan faced the axe. Abdul Razak faced the axe. Inzamam was the only guy who kind of weathered the storm. But towards the fag end, even he was also told to go. Okay, number one. This is basically a conflict, and that is why Fakhar Zaman's tweet, I kind of agree but also disagree with it.
Yeah.
In India, you would not have dropped a Virat Kohli. You didn't drop a Virat Kohli after 3 lean years. But in Pakistan, one loss can result in 10 major
I'm
changes.
telling you, there's
It's
no
not
major-
just about that one loss,
If
Siddharth.
you really think that this is, if this they have kept in mind thinking about the future,
Yeah.
building the next team, I'm telling you, you are also falling in their trap. Only this trap the selectors have set for the whole nation over there. You're falling for the same trap. They have no thought process behind this. I'm telling you, he was the biggest name at this point to calm things down, this was the best thing to do.
Today's
I'll be very honest.
definition.
You also know this.
Today's
Okay,
decision defines the perfect definition of a scapegoat.
Panistan, they don't know what the
Balla,
right and
tell
good-
me one thing. In the day before yesterday's dugout, when we were talking about, when I basically said that Babar Azam should be dropped, okay, what was the reasoning behind that? You want to give someone the kick up the backside, na? That's what I'm saying. That you don't need to drop them for a long time. It's just about telling them, listen, boss, if you don't come back with some with the mindset or with the form that we expect out of you, then it's going to be a longer drop that you're going to suffer.
you
You
give
do
a-
that with youngsters, Gulati sir. You do that with youngsters. Those are things that are supposed to be taught to a youngster. If Babar Azam, what you're trying to say is about the mentality, this will change his mindset and mentality. I don't think at this stage of career, Babar Azam it's going to be that easy to change his mindset just by dropping him for a couple of series. I think this is just baseless. Very honestly, this is what I feel. I don't think that the right hand knows what the left hand is doing over here. Again, it's nothing new with Pakistan cricket. This is the most radical decision because now this was the final nail in the coffin. Something had to be done. It would have been also Mohammad Rizwan also could have been dropped, but Mohammad Rizwan right now not being dropped because you also are looking for captaincy options. Shan Masuda, this time you would have dropped him, you would have had the problems in captaincy, and then everyone would have said that Babar is still in the team. It's just about the outside noise that is going inside, and they are taking calls just
You
in panic.
give a kick up the backside if you're on the edge, okay, and if you want them to be really out, that's it, done. I'm kicking you out. But Babar was a very important part, an integral part of the Pakistan team.
Yeah.
On the one aspect where they are failing miserably, he was there. Sure, he not contributing doesn't help his cause. But if your batters haven't performed, what did your bowlers do? It's a total colossal failure across all aspects.
True.
And you've just picked out the thorns and thrown them out. You've not uprooted the main problem. The main problem is stability. A Naseem and a Shaheen's not been the same. Shaheen, you dealt a cruel blow with him with just one series of captaincy. You destroyed his mental confidence. Okay. Pace wise, is he fully fit? We don't think so. Naseem, is he fully fit? No. It all boils down to the one thing where we all want to play for, that 22-yard pitch. Why are PCBs sabotaging that thing? It's a deliberate sabotage on making those roads. You make those roads, but you fall, you create gaddas for your own.
And
in
I
that
don't
way.
understand how when it's always in a group in Pakistan for some reason, I don't know why. When things are going well, they are going well for the same set of people.
Yeah.
When the things are going wrong for the same set of people. It's never been, in that sense it's different now. Where at one point it was Babar, Shaheen and Naseem who was at the top. Naseem, I would give the ball to Naseem in place of Jasprit Bumrah. He was your best bowler in the team. Now when things are not going right, these same people have been dropped. This just clearly shows that everyone wants to get their own people. This is a clear indication. Dropping Shaheen and Naseem with Babar just clearly shows that now the other group is in power. Before this, the other group was in power. Rizwan is playing the smart one here. He's between both. He's sailing in two boats. He's in the team.
That is the problem. Your instability that you've caused over all these years is now warping in a big way. Okay. And the players are suffering for it. Yes, agreed. Babar Azam doesn't have a great Sena record. He's got a terrible Sena record as compared to the rest of the others.
So do many players across the globe. Yeah.
Now, the problem is at one point in time, okay, Babar was considered in that Fab 5, although I said he was miles behind.
He was.
But he was considered. But he's nowhere there. He has to be performing in all conditions. Forget performing in all conditions. He is not even performing on roads at home. That is the worrying part about it. So, by dropping him, are you helping his confidence? With Pakistan cricket, you never know. Okay, sometimes these kind of things can really ensure that, wow, I might be motivated to do well and I get on my beast mode.
Has there been communication? If yes, then there should be no talk of confidence.
I can't say with confidence with Pakistan
That's just
cricket.
one way of looking at things. Either there has been communication or there has been not.
This is the same Pakistan cricket board that says we want to rest them when it's clearly obvious they've been dropped. It's clearly obvious. You cannot trust anything from the Pakistan cricket board because just like how they are built up, they have to give some kind of a googly every single time. They can't produce spinners, but their board can send out googlies. That is the way I'm looking at Pakistan.
Much as others said, you can get somebody like a Kachra.
But Pakistan cannot do that because they don't have that fight. That fight is not left anymore in them to produce that kind of, what they say in Mumbai, Khadus cricket. They can't do that
Dogged
anymore.
determination.
Now if they end up dropping, I wouldn't even be surprised if they end up dropping Saim Ayub from the 11.
Shan Masood is one lucky captain. He's the luckiest captain in the history of Pakistan cricket because,
Lost 6 matches on the bounce.
and yet he's holding
And
on
I
to his
think
job.
he has only 2 more matches under his belt, because if Pakistan lose both of them, then he's also
That
going
is
to
a
suffer the axe.
prediction that we all can give eyes closed also.
No, that's not a prediction, that's a spoiler.
No, it will happen. It will happen. But by dropping Babar Azam,
No, what I'm asking both of you is, now if they drop Saim Ayub and get in Herrera,
you have
what
been
does that
behind
mean?
Saim
No,
Ayub.
I'm trying to ask what does that mean then? Then he should not have been in the squad itself.
Exactly.
Is what
And this
if you
is-
don't want to play him in the 11, then he should also be out of the
See,
team
if
because
you-
he's a youngster. He can still make a comeback. Babar Azam, the doors
If you
don't come.
dropped Sam Ayub here, this is where you would be destroying his confidence. In case of Babar, my point is that if there has been proper communication with him, then it's absolutely fine.
About what?
That we would want you back for the South Africa series. That's the point there.
But do you think that has happened?
If you have to give my opinion,
Yeah.
I feel that PCB have made the right move by dropping him. And if there has been some communication, one can only hope about it.
Right or wrong, see, again, it would be in hindsight if things change for the better, then yeah.
No, they are not going to change overnight, na?
No, if the next test match, no, I'm telling you why it's going to be, the results are going to be so short term, because now what will happen is you will drop Saim Ayub from the 11. What this clearly will mean is that while making the squad, you did not know what's your plan going forward.
Yeah.
Because if I have to drop Saim Ayub from the 11, I would drop him from the squad altogether. The reason being that I would want him to make a comeback because he's young and he can make a comeback through domestic.
Okay.
Babar Azam doesn't really
Look,
make sense.
his-
He's not even a backup batter now for the Pakistan team. He's
Babar,
not dipped.
yeah.
He's not dipped.
his
form
Sui
not
is
dipped
stuck
so
on
much.
Saim Ayub for the past 2 days, okay? But I'll tell you one thing. Saim Ayub will join the likes of Ehsan Adil, Mohammad
Ahmed Shahzad.
Wasim, no, Ali Naqvi, all those guys who made great starts but then faded out for reasons that is not even known to Pakistan themselves. I'll add one more name in that list, Zulkarnain Haider.
Oh, that slow left arm orthodox.
Keeper.
No,
okay,
even
okay.
Ahmed Shahzad in that
Keeper,
list.
keeper.
Ahmad Shahzad was touted to be the next big guy, but then he faded into oblivion. I'll add that also. I'll add a Khurram Mansoor in that list.
He looks
Oh,
like
that was
Virat
Zulfikar
also.
Babar.
Babar.
Yeah, that was Zulfikar.
I'll add a Khurram Mansoor in that list also. Okay?
Yeah.
In this entire decade, when you look at it, okay, who have been your key stalwarts? I'll talk about last 15 years. Who have been the stalwarts of Pakistan cricket? Misbah-ul Haq,
Yunus Khan, Mohammad Yusuf.
Babar, no, Yusuf faded
Yeah,
after 2010-11.
Yeah.
Okay. Babar Azam, Asad Shafiq, the list ends there. Your openers have been open door ever since 2012-13, and Salman Butt and Imran Farhat were there. They have gone. Okay. Pakistan have a tendency to produce big names, but when they come out to the international stage, they fade away into oblivion, and we don't know what happens after.
Ahmed Shahzad, they used to say he looks like Virat also. He got that shape just
Yeah.
like him.
Exactly.
They
So,
have a new big name every 2-3 years.
yep. I know.
Ahmed Shahzad, then Babar.
I said Mohammad Wasim, Ali Naqvi, all those other guys, those core days are gone. When you had a Miandad, Ijaz Ahmed, Inzamam-ul Haq, then Saeed Anwar, Amir Sohail. Where is that core gone? It's gone. Ever since then, Pakistan has been woeful in that way.
Yep.
Let's take a couple of comments. Danush is saying, from 2021 to 2023, India made 2-day pitches at home. Pakistan producing flat roads, still Babar, no 15-18 innings. embarrassing comparing Virat and Babar. Danush,
Yeah.
the only underlining factor in both of them was that poor, horrendous pitches. That is the only, if you look at it, the only like-to-like thing that is
Yeah,
there.
yeah.
Pakistan producing these pitches are not heavenly pitches, they are horrible pitches. India produced embarrassing pitches in 2021 till 2023. You have course corrected now, thankfully. Okay, it isn't embarrassing for that particular way for one simple reason: poor pitch versus poor pitch. But Babar can't produce runs on roads. That is embarrassing. That I agree.
Shubham has an interesting comment. Virat Kohli's 26 average comes when India was scoring 250 in a test match and winning such where pitches were obviously rank turners. Babar's 20 on the other hand comes when Pakistan need to score 500 plus. Both slumps are not the same.
Disagree. They are the same because they are both happening on poor pitches. It's not the pitch's fault if it is in the other end of the spectrum. One is terribly
On a
poor.
rank turner, 26 is more useful than a 20 on a flat pitch.
Of course, but they are poor pitches. Understand the sentiment. The sentiment is poor pitches in both India and Pakistan contributed to the slumps, but in the case of Babar Azam, he can't produce runs on roads.
Okay.
Okay. Mr. Shekhar GTN is saying, morning gents, and that's why I love Pakistan cricket. A Monday and Sunday suddenly gets a life. With PCB, however pathetic on field, off field, there is never a dull day. Totally agree, Mr. Shekhar. Shubham Garga saying, Babar has only 196 versus Australia to show in Test VK before Slump had 2700s, 500 series in Sena, 1200s in Sena. Babar don't even have 5% of this, which is why I agree. In that Fab 5 which was going to happen, Babar was miles behind.
Yeah.
But there is a dark undercurrent to this. Pakistan never play 5-test series or a 4-test series or a 3-test or a 4-test series in the Sena countries.
But do we really have to bring that thing into consideration? If that is not
You
there,
get
that is
more
not there.
chances. You get more chances.
That is absolutely
But
fine.
still, there is no comparison.
See. I agree. See, he's not done much, but look at the sample size. Virat may have played about 15-20 tests. Babar has played just 7-8 tests.
I get your point, but I don't think it's...
3-2, nah.
That's absolutely fine, but I don't think it's a fair point for discussion. That's my point.
Yeah.
Fine.
Yeah.
But Babar Azam...
Babar and Virat, as far as comparison is concerned, hasn't reached so deep that you need to go till there.
But you
It's
have
on the surface itself.
But you have to understand that not many chances. More you play, the more chances you have of success. The less you play, the less chances of success.
True.
2 tests, if it's only 2 innings. But Virat, 5 tests, 10 innings. 2 versus 10. Is the comparison done right? These same people will raise the same question. That's the main thing. Root, Smith, Kohli, who's the greatest among them? These are the numbers that come. Nah?
Yeah, then those come.
But then even in the same case, it has to apply here also. So I love mutton biryani. Well, it's a good time for that. Go down.
Are you doing that tonight?
I don't know.
Okay.
I really don't know. Comparison of Babar and Virat is sad. They are not in the same class. Kohli is an all-time great. Babar hasn't got Kohli's longevity or his record. He doesn't even have one great innings in Test, and this is the truth. Indeed, it's the truth. Yes, but at 196, there was a good innings. Virat has got 11, 12, 15 such great innings.
Yeah.
Okay, and he's done it on a regular basis. So that is why it's a big situation that we are developing at this stage.
Yeah, Anshu has a comment that long rope is given to match winners like Smith, Virat, Root, who all have 30 test hundreds, 30 test hundreds, not ordinary player like Babar, who has 9 test hundreds, just one.
MOM.
Okay, just one man of the match.
100 in the
100
Sena.
in Sena. Cummins one more than Babar.
Again, see, these kind of debates will happen. Because, see, this is as far as slump is concerned, it's never on match winning.
Yeah.
A slump is a slump irrespective of a player, but it's warped in the subcontinent discourse because Pakistan have dropped a Babar. Same slump, if it happens for India, the stability in the BCCI is such, you'll never drop them.
True.
Okay. When Virat got his bad form, Virat has 70 hundreds and 20,000 runs. People forget sometimes this. Anik Sarkar is saying, Virat is already the greatest player of the generation. Can you say that for Babar? Babar is in the wrong country. He is in the wrong country. And which is why we said, even at the start of the debate, please just Go back and see. We said it was...
Even if he's in the wrong country, it's up to a player, irrespective of the country, to make his career.
But that is why, see, Virat and there was the Fab 3. That was what we established. The premise was Babar coming into the Fab 5 was anyway an outlier. It was anyway an outlier. But there is a reason why Pakistan has got only one guy who scored 10,000 runs. There is a reason. Because of all what has happened.
Okay. Shubham Garg has a comment. Sidvi, for you, Babar has played 21 test matches in Sena, only 100 versus Oz in Sydney, 104. 21 tests are enough sample size. I agree with this. Even KL Rahul has scored 500.
But is KL Rahul a stability? Is KL Rahul in the team at all consistent basis? He was also dropped. After
times.
2022, when he had that horrendous series in Bangladesh, he was dropped. Sena countries, again, he's a great in England and South Africa, but he's woeful in Australia, KL Rahul.
Yeah.
That one century in Sydney, take that away, he's got a woeful record in Australia.
Yeah.
He's a great in South Africa and England, but does KL Rahul get admiration? No, he gets scorn because he's not consistent enough.
True.
Consistency is the exclusive hallmark for certain grades because they have done well on multiple bases across conditions. That applies to a Virat, that applies to a Sachin, that applies to a Root, maybe it applies to a Smith. It cannot apply to a Babar Azam because 2 years his performance has not been great.
Exactly.
Sena, anyway, his entry into the Fab 4 club was never going to be accepted because he never had a good Sena record.
Exactly.
And how many times have you played in the Sena? When you look at, he said 21. But 21, compare it with Virat also, it's double the number.
True.
Let's be very honest about it, it's double the number. So that's why. Anyways, has Pakistan pulled off the most bizarre selection when you wind it up? What is it? Is it a bizarre move? Is it a bad move? Is it a disastrous move?
I expected it to happen and it has happened.
It's a bizarre move for me.
This is how I'll end it for me.
It is a bizarre move. I think for me it is a really bad move because you don't have any experience now.
Okay.
That is the problem. So that is why. That is why Pakistan, if they want to enter the doldrums themselves, please go into the doldrums. It is only better that you reach such a rock bottom by which you can realize that, okay, things aren't working out. So that is why it is not such a good move, I would say. It's only disastrous for Pakistan because you're staring at another 3-0 whitewash at home.
True.
You're potentially staring that. With Babar now gone, the way is clear. Mar. Let it happen.
See, usually, like, in any of the teams' cases, that when you bring in some fresh blood, and as I said, I think in one of our previous lives also, that freshness does more good than harm. Whether it would do anything good for Pakistan in their remaining 2 test matches against England, I'm not really sure.
Let's see. 2 days from now, it's going to happen. England versus Pakistan again on the used
Also India versus New Zealand, 3 days.
3 days later. But then let's see.
Two only, na? Monday, Tuesday, I'm not counting.
But Tuesday is the test match, na? Pakistan,
India's
England.
okay.
Pakistan, England begins at Multan and 3 days later it's India, New Zealand. So test cricket is just warming up at this point, my friends. It's going to be a really big situation we are developing. Pakistan dominated us on Monday. Let's see, on Sunday rather, Monday, Tuesday, India will be dominating the discussion because we're building up for India versus New Zealand. So
But before that, we are also building up towards India-Australia tonight.
Yes, the India women's team versus Australia, that's going to happen.
India in a must-win situation.
Yeah, the toss has happened and I will just, before I sign out.
Australia have opted to bat.
That's going to be
And
good.
who is, can we go down, Shivam? Need to see who is captaining Australia.
Thalia Magwa.
So which means Alisa Healy is out.
Yes, Alisa Healy is out and so is Taylor Vleminich by that look. So India, when you look at it, Shefali Verma, Smriti Mandhana, Harmanpreet Kaur, Jemima Rodriguez, Richa Ghosh, Deepti Sharma, Pooja Vastrakar,
She's back.
Reddy,
Okay,
yes,
yeah.
Shriyanka Patil, Asha Shobana, Renuka Thakur Singh. So India have got their full strength team, but yep, Sajana Sajivan is in there. Sajivan Sajana. So Pooja Vastrakar is in. She was also injured, but she's back. So yep, no Alisa Healy and no Taylor Vleminich by that look. So yes, Thalia Magra is the captain, but still you not underestimate an Australia.
Yeah.
Okay, so we'll be back for the India versus Australia match that happens. So thank you so much. Bet Mooney will be the wicket keeper. Grace Harris, Elise Perry, Ashley Gardner, Phoebe Litchfield, Talia McGrath, Georgia Wareham, Annabelle Sutherland, Sophie Molyneux, Megan Schutt, and Darcy Brown. Very strong lineup indeed. So join us for all the action. We are bringing you more videos as well. So from me, Shashwat, and Sid Gulati, it is bye-bye. Thank you for all the comments. Please subscribe to Sports Today. We are just getting started for a very busy cricket season.